So that it meets code as in, legal Wow. This is a little bit of a parvayil b'mizbeach.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Shabbat shalom. Our reading continues in just a moment with Sheni, the second Aliyah, beginning on page 903 with verse 1 as we move to the next chapter through to verse 9. As we get ready to hear what Bilam is about to say, and this upcoming oracle contains that very famous line, which has made its way into our Siddur and with which we started today's service. So get ready for that. Again, page 903, verse 1. Yonah ben David?
Yeah, Yonah ben David,
Yamod Yonah ben David Vester Goldi L'Aliyah Shniyah.
Baruch Hu es Adonai HaVorach.
Baruch Adonai HaVorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaVorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar bonu mikol ha'amim v'nasa lanu es torasai. Baruch atah Adonai nosein haTorah.
Amen. Vayar Bilam Ki tov b'nei Adonai levarecha Yisrael v'lo halach kefam b'fam likrat nechashim vayashed el hamidbar panav vayisa Bilam et einav vayar et Yisrael shochen lishvatav V'tehi alav ruach Elohim, v'yisamish alo v'yomar, neum Bilam beno ve'or, unum hagever shtumayin, neum shomea imreel, asher machazeh Shaddai, asher machazi Shaddai yechezeh, nofel ugluinaim. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael kinchalim nitayu keganot alei nahar ka'ahalim nata Adonai karazim alei mayim izal mayim midalya v'zaro b'mayim rabim v'yaro me'agag malko v'tinaseh malchuto el motzio mimitzrayim ketoifot Rem lo yochal goyim sarav v'atzmotehem yegarem v'chitzav yimchatz kara shachav kari uchlavim yekimenu mevarchecha varuch ve'orerecha aruch.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nasa lanu Torah emes v'chayei olam v'tavaseichenu. Baruch atah Adonai nosein haTorah.
Amen. In a moment, we'll continue with Shlishi, our third aliyah. Barb Neiman is going to pick up the Torah reading for the next three aliyot. So I'll be handing the yad over to her in a second here. For Shlishi. Shlishi begins page 905 with verse 10 through verse 13. I want you to pay attention, file away in your mind some of the beautiful poetry that we just read, because we may see a connection when we get to the Haftarah coming up after the Torah reading, particularly the comparisons of the nation of Israel, but Israel to a lion. That's an interesting simile there, an interesting comparison. And a lot of the idea of nature. Remember, all of these beautiful descriptions of nature and all this vegetation that Bilam has just offered, they're in the middle of the desert. They're in a very, very barren area. If you've been anywhere near the Dead Sea in Israel, that's the idea. So all of this beautiful vegetation that is mentioned in what we've just read, file that away, because we're going to see a little bit of that come back in the Haftarah. For now, we continue on, and we see Balak's reaction to Bilam. No surprise here, he's not going to be particularly pleased. And I think he's going to call it quits and send Bilam home. But before Bilam goes home, he's going to offer a fourth and final oracle, the climax to this entire story. So we'll get to that. We begin again here. 905 is the page with verse 10. Our honoree is Rabbi Alan Finkel, who was ordained by JSLI, the same program Rabbi Mas and I went through not even a month ago. Still pretty fresh. We'll be off. So we're excited to have him receive an aliyah here for the first time, probably as a rabbi. It's an honor for us here. We look forward, and I'll say a little bit more about Rabbi Allen in just a second. But for now, Barb's going to read as we continue with Shlishi. Yamod Harab Avram Emmanuel Ben Nachman VeCarmela L'Aliyah Shlishi.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayicharach Balak el Bilam, vayisbok et kapav, vayomer Balak el Bilam, lakov oyavai kiraticha, vehine berachta varech, zeh shalosh pe'amim, ve'ata varech lecha el mekomecha, amarti kabed achabetcha, Vehine menecha Adonai mikavod. Vayomer Bilam el Balak, Halo, Kam el malachecha, asher shalachta elai diparti lemor. Imiten li Balak, milo beito, kesef ezahav, lo uchal. La'avor epi Adonai, la'asot tova, ora'ah milibi, asher yedaber Adonai, oto adaber.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
We'll continue with the Torah reading in just a moment. As I mentioned, Barb's going to keep reading. Rivi is next. That's the fourth aliyah, and you can get ready, page 905, verses 14 through 19. But we wanted to take this opportunity to offer congratulations to our friend and our new colleague, Rabbi Alan Finkel. Rabbi Mas and I kept the secret that Alan was doing the studies because, well, I'm proud to say that we were his recommendations. We were his references who got him into the program. Don't make me regret it. Alan, in the last couple of years, has become, like I said, a dear friend, which I always kind of laugh at because now that I'm in this position, I have many friends who are quite a bit older and wiser than I am, and I've learned much from Alan, and we've shared stories, and he was very interested in the program that we'd gone through, and obviously it inspired him. You know that Alan is involved with Barb, so it forces Alan to come here on a somewhat regular basis, which is good for us. But his real inspiration for his connection with Judaism involves the Reform congregation, Temple Shalom, where, of course, he's now working. And his passion and commitment to that institution is something that we hope to continue building a relationship with going forward, because many events that we have a lot of people from Temple Shalom here, and I know vice versa, on a regular basis. So it's a continued partnership, but I also wanted to give you a very special blessing, because becoming a rabbi, if you haven't figured out yet, I mean, there's some times where you need a little bit of a blessing. So hopefully I won't turn into Bilam in reverse, and the words that come out won't be a curse here. I'm going to do my absolute best. I wanted to say, our God and God of our ancestors, bestow your blessings on Rabbi Alan Finkel and his congregation. Instill in him wisdom and righteousness, steadfastness and devotion as he assumes the position of rabbi. Grant him a wise heart, candor, and courage. May he respond to every challenge with dignity, and plant within him a full measure of your compassion, that he might embody the words of our tradition. Be a disciple of Aaron, Aharon, loving peace and pursuing peace, loving all people and drawing them closer to the Torah. And let us all say, Amen. We look forward to it. But as I've told Alan privately, so that the secret's out, if you ever see us in public and I snarl at him or I make a face, it's because it's good when people think there's a little bit of a rivalry between the rabbis. So don't tell anybody that secretly I like him a lot. In public, I'm going to say nasty things to him, behind his back, about him. I'm just kidding. No, it's fantastic. It's great to have you here, another homegrown rabbi who brings tremendous experience to Temple Shalom. And like I said, we look forward to the relationship with you and with your congregation going forward. So mazel tov and much success. Let's continue. Rivi'i, I mentioned, page 905. Our honoree is Glory Fleischer. Tamod, Chana Gidel Bar Yosef HaKohen V'Sonia, Lalia Revit.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Eta hineni holech le'ami lecha i'atzecha asher ya'aseh ha'am hazeh le'amcha be'acharit hayamim v'yisam eshalo ve'omar Ne'um bilam beno ve'or Ne'um hagever shetum ha'ayin Ne'um shomea imre'el ve'yodea dat elyon Machazeh shatai yechezeh nofel ugelui einayim Ere'enu velo ata ashurenu velo karot Darach kochav miyakov V'kam shevet me'Yisrael U'machatz patei Moav V'karkar kol b'nei Shet V'haya Edom Yeresha V'haya Yeresha Seir oivav Yisrael osechayil V'yeret Yaakov ve'evid
Sari Meir.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet V'chayei Olam Nata B'tochenu Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Chamishi is next, our fifth aliyah. Going to begin in a moment, page 906, verses 20 through 25, our honoree Alice Weitzman. I want to draw your attention to a very, very interesting line in what Barb just beautifully chanted for us. In the 17th verse, now that Bilam is offering this final oracle and he's predicting the destruction of Moab, he talks about a star coming from Yaakov. Darach kochav mi Yaakov. Very interesting. This verse in the Torah was kind of given new meaning many, many centuries ago. In the years 132 to 135, there was a revolt, an uprising that was actually tragically unsuccessful against the Romans, led by a guy named Bar Kokhba. And inspired by this verse of a star coming forth from Jacob, a lot of sages renamed him, as you probably know him, Bar Kokhba. Right? The idea, where did this name come from? Tapping into this very verse, the idea of a star coming from Jacob. Now again, that revolt turned out horribly, but it is just very interesting and worth noting that it inspired his name change, Bar Kosva to Bar Kochva. Now Barb can continue with us. Fifth reading, Chamishi, beginning on verse 20, page 906. Tamod Sirachaya Bar Avram V'Shifra L'Aliyah Chamishit.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayar et Amalek, vayisam eshalo vayomar, Rishi goyim Amalek, v'charito ade obed. Vayar et Hakeni, vayisam eshalo vayomar, Etam moshavecha, v'sim basela kinecha, ki im ihyeh leva erkain, Adma asher tishbeka, vayisam eshalo vayomar, Oy, mi chiev mishumoel, vetzim miyad kitim, ve'inu ashur, ve'inu aver, vegam hu ade obed, vayakom bilam, vayelech, vayashov limkomo, vegam balak, halech ledarko.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Kol hakavod and Yeshir Kochech to Barb Neiman. Beautiful Torah readings as always. Thank you so much for doing that, Barb. We'll continue in just a moment with our sixth Aliyah. 907 is the page as we move into the next chapter. You see, in that last little bit there, Bilam kind of singles out one enemy of Bnei Israel after another and predicts their destruction, and then he and Balak go their separate ways. This whole episode interrupted the narrative of the story of the wanderings in the wilderness, which now we pick up in our final two aliyot of this parsha, again beginning on 907. We see an episode that is quite horrible, but doesn't get nearly the same kind of press as other tragic situations in the wilderness, like the golden calf, for example. But there's a note in your Etz Chaim Chumash, you'll see that in the episode of the golden calf, ultimately 3,000 of Bnei Israel died. And what we're about to read, 24,000, 8 times that number died. And yet it's not talked about as much. So pay attention to what we're about to read, and you'll see a very, not talked about very much, but a very distressing story as this new generation is about to get ready to move into the land. We also have a celebration that goes along. Earl and Cheryl Barish are here celebrating their 33rd wedding anniversary. Come on up, we'll call them. And they get the honor of this sixth aliyah. Again, page 907, verses 1 through 6. Yamdu Saralea bat Daniel udvora Israel Yosef ben Yaakov uMiriam L'aliyah hashishit. Right here.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayeshev Yisrael bashitim, vayachel ha'am, liznot el bnot Moav, vatikren alam, lizivchei Elohehen, veyochal ha'am, vayishtachavu le'Elohehen, vayitzamed Yisrael leval peor, vayicharaf Adonai b'Yisrael, Vayomer Adonai El Moshe Kach ekol rashei vehokaotam Adonai neged hashamesh v'yashov charonaf Adonai b'Yisrael Vayomer Moshe l'shoftei Yisrael Hirgu ish anashav and itzmadim leval peor V'hinei ish mibnei Yisrael ba vayakrev el achav et amidyanit leinei Moshe uleinei kol adat bnei Yisrael vehem avochim petach ohel moed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Mishaberach Avotenu Avram Yitzchak Yaakov Sarivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yevarech et Sarah Leah bat Daniel u'Dvorah V'Yisrael Yosef ben Yaakov Miriam Bavur Shebau Hayom Ladol L'Shem Kodsho Al Kol HaChesed Asher Gamal Lahem Miyom Chatunatam U'Miyom Simchat Libam Ad Hayom Hazeh HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yishmer V'Yatzeh Mikol Tzara V'Tzukah Mikol Negav Machala Vishlach bracha v'tzlacha b'chol ma'aseh yedehem im kol Yisrael achehem v'nomar amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, bless Cheryl and Earl Barish, who are here today with gratitude for all the blessings their years together have afforded them. May the Kadosh Baruch Hu, may the Holy One, continue to protect and deliver you. May you continue to enjoy God's blessings in the new song of your years to come, embraced by the love of children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, so that you may always live in joy and gladness, in peace and companionship. And let us all say, Amen. Od yeshama behare Yehuda. Happy anniversary. Od yeshama behare Yehuda uvechutzot Yerushalayim kol sason vekol simcha kol chatan vekol chala kol sason vekol simcha kol chatan vekol chala. Usually I always... You're doing great. What are you talking about? So, 33 years. What can you remember about your wedding? What do you remember? What can you tell us? A little story. It's a bit of a blur? Nothing stands out? Where was it?
It was at
The Rosh Pina. Wonderful. Yeah.
and it was actually beautiful. I married Earl and his 3 children at the time,
So nice.
and our families matched beautifully, and it's lovely. And do you guys remember? Well, Mike doesn't. Mike wasn't there. We didn't invite Mike, but
Well, you made it today, so that's good. That's great. Well, it's a very happy story from then, and it's continued for all these years.
since then we have 7 grandchildren.
Right. So in case you didn't hear that, right? 3 kids, 7 grandchildren, 33 years, and many, many more. And we hope you'll continue to celebrate them with us here at Shared Zedek, where you made such a great contribution. We have the Torah cover from last year that we use, or our second Torah all the time, and it's wonderful. You made so many great contributions to the shul, so it's an honor for us to have you here. So keep coming and keep enjoying all your years together. And I'm not trying to rush anyone on great grandchildren. It's just it's in there, so I don't want to leave it out. Hey, there's lots of things to look forward to. It's exciting. It's great. And now we can look forward to our final Torah reading and then on to the Haftarah. Susan Palmer is chanting the Haftarah today, so she's our final honoree for this Shvi'i Maftir. The last reading, page 908, verses 7 through 9. So we've got the celebration with the Bereshes, but what's in the text, like I said, I alluded to, very, very troubling. Very troubling, this plague, seduced by the practices of the Midianites and the Moabites, these people who are worshiping Baal, the fertility god. And you can imagine what worships of the fertility god were probably like. They were the exact opposite of what these people have been cautioned against for years. Their ancestors, when they received the 10 Commandments and all the Torah and everything, what does it lead off with? No other gods, no worshiping other gods. And yet here they are, basically just outside the land. And they get seduced into worshiping Baal in a place called Peor. That's how they come together, Baal Peor. What is going to stop this plague? Well, it's troubling for me because you always want to say use your words, never resort to violence. But we're about to see here that it's a violent act that actually spares God's wrath and ends the plague. So let's see how this ends. Verses 7 through 9, beginning on page 908. Tamod Miriam hamolechet bar Abram v'Sarah Maftirach Hizki.
Baruch et Adonai HaMavarach.
Baruch Adonai HaMavarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMavarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Vayar Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aharon HaKohen vayakom mitoch ha'eda vayikach romach biyado vayavo achar ish Yisrael el hakuba vayikor et shnehem et ish Yisrael v'et ha'isha el kovata v'te'atzar magefa me'al bnei Yisrael v'yehi hametim b'magefa arba v'esrim Aleph.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chaye olam natan v'torah keinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah. Thank you.
Yesher Koach to everyone who received an honor. Again, happy anniversary to Earl and to Cheryl. And Kol HaKavod to Barb Neiman for a beautiful Torah reading. The Haftarah for Parshat Balak, which Susan will chant for us, is coming up on page 915, if you want to flip ahead to that, 915. Pay attention, if you're reading in the English, to see the connection between the Parsha and this Haftarah. Why this Haftarah from Micha, the last of all the books of the prophets? Micha is very famous for the very, very closing verses, which we tack on to a couple of other Haftarot, which inspire us with words v'tashlich. We read it at the very end of Maftir Yonah and the afternoon of Yom Kippur, and we read it at the very end of Shabbat Shuvah's Haftarah, the Haftarah between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, kind of tapping into the idea of repentance and sin at that time of the year. Here we read from earlier in the book of Micha. Micha lived in the 8th century BCE, and it seems to be after the time when the northern kingdom, the 10 tribes, were conquered, defeated, and dispersed by the Assyrians. And so pay attention as we read, and you'll see the connection between the Parsha, that, in particular what we've read today, and this Haftarah. So that's coming up. But before we do that, let's make a Misha Berach now for everyone we know who's sick and could benefit from a prayer of healing, what we call a refuah shlema, a full and speedy recovery. I'll read the names I have on my list, and then I'll invite you all to stand and call out any other names you'd like to add to our prayers, and then we can sing together. The prayer is in the Siddur on page 34. The names we have this week that we're thinking of are Errol Hyde, Zev Aryeh ben Chaya Edel, Beryl ben Dvora, Esther Bela bat Sarah, Aviva bat Malka, Liba bat Gittel, Yaakov ben Sion ben Miriam, Karen bat Rivka, Yakira bat Sarah, Yona ben Chienka, Alan Rodkin, Eden Lerner, Selby Lerner, Andrea Garant, Brina bat Esther, Chana bat Brina, Bracha bat Gittel, Natan Beir ben Cyril, Michael ben Chana, Chaya Leah bat Fega, Ed Sokolov, Tova bat Leah. If there's anyone else with names you'd like to call out and add to our prayers, I'll invite you to stand at this time and we'll go through the chapel and into the sanctuary. Elizabeth, please. Amen. Amen. Louise. Amen. Lois. Amen. Judy. Amen. Amen. Rosa. Amen. 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 Errol. Amen. 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 Go. Amen. Thank you, everyone. As I mentioned, the prayer is on page 34 in the Siddur, the Misha Berach by Debbie Friedman. Let's join together. Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Thank you, everyone. Please rise now for Hagbah and Glila, the lifting and tying of the scroll of the Torah. V'zot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah udvar Adonai miYerushalayim. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah udvar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael. Baruch shenatan Please be seated. Again, the Haftarah is on page 915. Follow along, and I'm sure you'll see the connection to the Parsha. That Parsha ends in such a dramatic and, again, violent note with Pinchas, son of Eleazar, grandson of Aharon, a descendant of the original Kohen. And in the blessing we gave Alan today, remember, Aharon was a lover of peace and a pursuer of peace, and his grandson stabs and kills this couple at the same time, who had flaunted their illegitimate relationship in front of the entire community. And this checks the plague, and that's where the Parsha ends. The next Parsha, of course, is named for Pinchas. And we learn that ultimately he's rewarded for this act, and that the priesthood, the Kohanship, if you will continue through him forever. Until this day, we still refer to Kohanim, ostensibly all descended from Pinchas. It doesn't make a lot of sense. There's some great commentary if you want to keep reading. There's some thoughts about why the Parsha ends here and different ideas. But ultimately, this violent act is kind of rewarded, and it's something that doesn't sit so well with me and with a lot of other commentators. So continue to grapple with this, and maybe we'll talk about it a little bit more next week when we move into the next Parsha, that we won't exactly read about it. One thing you should know is that even though Pinchas is kind of rewarded, in the Torah, it's very subtle. His name, the Yud in his name, is made smaller than the other letters in any other place you see a Yud. That even though he did this thing that he was rewarded for, it diminished him a little bit. And the Yud, representing God in his own life, was diminished and made smaller. And that Shalom, the word that follows it, the Vav in Shalom in the Torah, is actually broken in half. The idea that the peace that he achieved was an incomplete peace. So there's little subtleties, but overall, he does get rewarded. Enough about that. Susan, come on up. Chant the Haftarah for us. 915 is the page.
Baruch atah Adonai. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratza v'divraham hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Haboker b'Torah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Israel amo uv'nvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. V'haya sherit Yaakov v'kerev amim rabim katal me'et Adonai kirvivim ale'esef asher lo yakaveh leish v'lo yichachel lifnei adam. V'haya sherit Yaakov b'goyim v'kerev amim rabim karyeh biva hamot ya'ar kifir be'ed redzon asher imavar v'ramas v'taraf v'ein matzil tarom yedaka el tzarecha uveko oyevek ikaretu v'haya vayom hahu na'um Adonai v'hikrati susecha mikirbecha V'ha'avadti markavotecha, v'hakrati areadecha, v'harasti komitrecha, v'hikrati kashafim meadecha, umunanim lo yichelak, v'hikrati pesileka, umetzavotecha mikirbecha, v'lo tishtakaveot lema'ase yadecha, v'natashti esherecha mikirbecha, v'tishmati arecha, Ve'asita bi'avimama nacham hetagoim asher lo samayhu shimuna et asher Adonai omer kum rivet haharim v'tishmana hagavaot kolecha shimu harim et riv Adonai v'ha'avadanim Mosadei Aretz ki riv l'Adonai imamo v'im Israel yitvachach. Ami me'asiti lecha hale'etecha ani ki he'eletika me'eretz Mitzrayim umi beit avadim haditika v'eshlach lefanecha et Moshe, Aaron, u'Miriam. Ami zakarna mayat Balak melech Moab u'me'ana oto Bilam ben Beor min hashitim ad hagika leman dat zitkot Adonai bama akadem Adonai yikov lelohe marom ha'akadmenu vayolot ba'agalim b'nei shana v'hir Adonai ba'alfei elim b'rivot nachale shaman ha'etan v'chori pishi pari vitni hatat nafshi hikid leka Adam matov Uma Adonai doresh mimacha ki imasot mishpat va'ahavat hesed Hatzene alechet im Elohechet. Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Zur kol ha'olamim, zadik b'kol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer v'yoseh, ha'medaber u'chaim, shekol devarav emet v'tzedek. Ne'eman atahu Adonai Eloheinu, v'ne'emanim devarecha. Devar echad midevarecha ahor lo yishuv recham. Ki emelech ne'eman v'rachaman ata. Baruch atah Adonai. Ha'el ha'ne'eman b'chol devarav. Rakem al Zion ki beit chayenu, v'la aluvat nefesh toshia, b'mera v'yameinu, Baruch atah Adonai. Sameach Zion b'vneya. Shamacheinu Adonai Eloheinu, Ve'eliyahu hanavi avdecha, uv'malkut Beit David Mashichecha, b'mera yavo v'yagel livenu, al kiso lo yeshev zor, v'lo inchalu od hacharim et kavodo. Ki b'shem kodshcha mishpata lo, shelo ikbe naro leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch Shemo. Magen David. Amen. Al haTorah v'al ha'avodah v'al ha'nevi'im v'al yom ha'Shabbat hazeh. Shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, likdusha v'limnucha, lekavod utifaret. Al hachol Adonai Eloheinu, anaknu modim lak, umachbarkim otak, yitbarach shimcha mi, Beficho chai tamid leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch Shemo. Mekadesh HaShabbat.
It's a beautiful job, Susan.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. Beautiful voice this morning. Thank you so much. This is the third year that Susan has chanted the Haftarah for Balak. A great tradition that we look forward to year after year, Susan. A wonderful job. And you saw the connections. Idolatry is mentioned. Some of the poetry of Bilam and what we read today is echoed. The lion, images of nature. Of course, when God is being remembered for the great acts in the past, we're the actual episode that we read today about Balak and Bilam is invoked. But the best part of that Haftarah are the closing verses. After this question of how do you connect with God? How do you rebuild your relationship with God? Thousands of rams? Firstborn? Fruits of my body? No. The final words of the Haftarah. What does the Lord require of you? Only to do justice and to love goodness and to walk modestly with your God. As the note in the text mentions, morality over sacrifice. Such an important lesson, and thank you again to Susan for delivering it so melodiously and beautifully this morning. Other thank yous: Bonnie Robinson, front of the chapel, and our Gabbai. Jerome Foman, our other Gabbai. Thank you to both of you. Thank you to our greeters, Glory Fleischer, Alice Weissman, and Bill Weissman. Thank you to Marvin Polanski, our audiovisual technical director. And again, thank you to all of you for being here. If you'd like to join Rabbi Mas for the L'chaim Club immediately after the service, it'll be in session in the choir room. And Torah L'chaim is back after Kiddush. You're all encouraged to stay for Kiddush in the auditorium. But study session today at about 12:45, maybe 1 o'clock after Kiddush is on what? The Parsha? More about the Parsha. Fantastic. If you've got your site and you're coming back to say Kaddish tonight, 6 o'clock here in the chapel, tomorrow morning at 9, tomorrow night at 6. Remember, during the week, Shacharit, Monday through Friday, is 7:30 a.m. Mincha Mariv, Monday through Thursday, is 6 p.m. And Kabbalat Shabbat every Friday is at 5:30. Next Shabbat morning, we'll be back here in the chapel for our 10 o'clock morning service. Members, don't forget, high holiday seats. Your deadline is August 30th. If you don't have your seats confirmed by August 30th, they will be released to the general public. So, don't let that time slip on you, August 30th. There's a young adult bonfire next Thursday, the 25th of July. Music, beer, snacks, and punch. Registration recommended by Tuesday. So please share that with anyone who may be interested. Don't ask me what qualifies a young adult. That came up last week. So, I don't know. Talk to Rena. Dr. Rena Elbaz, she's the one in charge of that.
You qualify now.
Maybe. And then the other announcement we're excited about is Rabbi Green and Chaya Green are coming back to Winnipeg for a little visit, our Rabbi Emeritus and our Rebbitzin Emeritus. August 11th to 25th is their visit, coinciding with 2 Shabbatot, August the 17th and August 24th. The 17th is a bar mitzvah, so on that day Rabbi Green will be leading Torah L'chaim, and on the 24th he'll be delivering the sermon, as well as leading Torah Chaim. Again, that's August 17th and 24th. Make sure if you're in town that you can check that out. And please let us know if you have a lead on accommodations for the Greens. I kind of want to make them live out of their car for 2 weeks, but just kidding. So if you know anywhere, like a place where they could house sit or they could stay, we're looking for somewhere for them. So please let us know, specifically Ian Staniloff, the executive director, if you have a lead on that. Were you going to say something?
You can park in my spot.
I got so many ideas. Oh, man. Seriously, though, if you have a lead on a place that they can stay for a couple of weeks, let us know. We'd really appreciate that. For now, let's return the Torah to the Ark, and let's hear Rabbi Mas's Dvar Torah to end off our service. Yehallelu is back in the Siddur, page 41. Rabbi.
יהללו את שם אדוני, כי נשגב שמו לבדו. עודו על ארץ ושמיים, וירם קרן לעמו. תהילה, תהילה לכל חסידיו, לבני ישראל עם קרובו. הללויה, 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 הללויה. עץ חיימי למחזיקים בו, ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה. דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה. חדש ימינו, Kadesh Yameinu Kekedem. You may be seated. But it's great to have another opportunity to learn together. I can't remember when was last time that I actually delivered Dvar Torah.
You need to give us about 6 jokes.
Oh, come on. There is only one joke.
Okay.
And this is about wedding rehearsal. I was inspired because I did quite a few weddings lately. So this is about a wedding rehearsal, where after the rehearsal was over, the groom comes to the rabbi, kind of in a secret, and said to him, look, if during the wedding you skip that part of love, honor, obey. If you skip that, I will give you $100. And he put $100 bill in his rabbi's pocket. Then during the ceremony, during the ring ceremony, the rabbi asked the groom, do you promise to bow down to your wife, to serve her breakfast in bed every day, and to fulfill her every desire? The groom, is in front of family and friends. He didn't know what to do. He said, I do. And then he said to the rabbi, but I thought we have an agreement. And he returns $100 and says, he made me a much better offer. Don't use it in the next wedding, please. Okay. So, please rise for the blessing before the Dvar Torah. Repeat after me. Baruch atah Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kidshanu. Bemitzvotav. Vetzivanu. La'asok. Bedivrei Torah. Praise are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, whose mitzvot add holiness to our life, and who gave us the mitzvah to study words of Torah. You may be seated. Amen. I want to talk to you today about God has always the final say. And as I was reading this week's Parsha Balak, and actually you probably discovered the same thing because Rabbi Matthew was teaching the contents of the Parsha during each one of the Aliyot. You probably realize that Parshiyot like this, if you want to study it from the Pshat, the literal meaning of the text, you won't go far. I mean, I don't say that it's not exciting sometimes or interesting to study the Torah from a literal point of view. But it's somehow irrelevant to our reality because we are talking about something that happened thousands of years ago, and the challenge is to read the Torah in a way that it could be relevant to you. So you probably witnessed that Aliyah after Aliyah, how you can actually discover things in this Parsha that could be useful for your own life. And I discovered that too. And it's a wonderful message that we can learn from these two individuals. Balak, the king Balak, and Bilam, the wizard. This guy who was an expert in black magic and curses and stuff like that. And what I was thinking is our lives are usually the same way that the Torah. We should be able to not to go through life like a robot without paying attention to what's happening around us. I believe that we have so many situations around our lives that they also have a message and they also have a teaching for us. But as I was reading this Parsha, I would say, with the characters of Balak and Bilam, I believe they represent something that we all have to go through in our own lives. And it is something that we should understand, and we should be prepared for that. Balak and Bilam, they were two individuals that they were ready to go against the people of Israel to curse them. You know? And I believe this is something that happened to all of us. When you have people around you that they are not necessarily positive towards you, their words are not in your best interest. I don't know if it ever happened to you. I guess it did. It happened to all of us. So, but this is the thing. We have so many good intentions. We really want to do great things. We dream. We think about our future. And we have great things ahead of us. But, little by little, you start encountering all those naysayers. People like Balak and Bilam that come to you and they will say, you're not going to make it. They're going to say to you, that's impossible. They're going to say to you, don't even think about it, don't waste your time. And so many things like that. But this is the problem. If you start believing those lies, then you're going to be doing damage to yourself. You have to be secure of who you are, secure of your mission, and then you have to find the strength to keep moving forward to fulfill your own destiny. You have to find a way to stop those people who all they bring to your life is negativity. But how do you do that? Well, I believe this parsha is also bringing the solution. Because when Bilam was about to curse the Jewish people, he couldn't do it. Instead, he said a blessing. So I believe in that blessing that Bilam actually said to the Jewish people encapsulates the advice for us to protect ourselves against people like Bilam. He said, Ma tovu alecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Israel. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the service, the rabbis understand that that statement came out of Bilam's mouth when he realized that he couldn't curse the people of Israel because of the Ohalecha, which literally translates as tent. But remember, we said we try not to read the parsha literally. Those tents actually means house of study. Those tents means where you learn Torah. And then Mishkenotecha, which translates as dwellings, actually is a reference to the synagogue. So, in other words, our strength to stay positive and our strength to keep away from our lives all sources of negativity come from studying Torah and from coming to synagogue. And why those two things? Well, because the Torah, with all these wonderful teachings, will remind you every time that you open it, every time that you study it, that you have a mission and you don't have to listen to people like Bilam or Balak. They may try to curse you, but at the end of the day, they don't have the final say. God had the final say. Bilam tried to curse the Jewish people, but all what he was able to say was a blessing. So that means that sometimes people will try to curse you. And sometimes you even will have to go through difficult situations. But if you remain strong in your faith, you will realize that all those things that try to destroy you ended up being your biggest blessing in your life. You see, let me tell you a story, something that happened to me recently. I performed a wedding of two people that they were previously divorced, right? And I was surprised because sometimes when you go through a divorce, when your relationship fails, you feel that it's the biggest curse in your life. And I was actually amazed at how these two individuals never thought it that way. Yes, it was a failure, but they never became depressed for the situation. They kept moving forward. Eventually, the two of them met, and they discovered the biggest blessing in their lives when they were able to believe in love once again. And now they are a model, and they are encouraging other people that they go through similar situations. Don't despair. Love can come to your life once again. But you see, every time you read stories like that in the Torah, your heart is full of hope, and you can move forward. That's why we say, Ma tovu alecha Yaakov, and mishkenotecha Israel. When you come to synagogue, when you remember that there is a God, every time you go through the Siddur and you say a blessing, you remember once again, people don't have the final say. God have the final say. They might try to stop you, but it's not up to them. It's up to God. They might try to bring a curse to your life, but if you stay strong in your faith, that curse might become your biggest blessing. And that stumbling block that you might find in front of you can become your stepping stool to something better. Ma tovu alecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Israel. How great it is to study Torah and to come to synagogue. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Aleinu, please rise. Page 44. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו טובי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו ופסולתו, ככתוב בתורתו. וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו Please remain standing for the Mourner's Kaddish on page 46. This week we extend our condolences to the families of Pamela Zentner, Vera Hirschfield, Percy Goldberg, and Leonore Hector. This week we commemorate the yahrzeit of Joseph Jula, father of Glory Fleischer, Jaime Cates, uncle of Alice Weisman, Clara Presament Cates, aunt of Alice Weisman, Rose Bell, mother of Hannon Bell, Joe Vicar, husband of Nessie Vicar, Jack Neiman, father of Barb Neiman, and Shannon Kemp, mother of Branley Kemp. Please join me in the recitation of the words of comfort, the words of the Mourner's Kaddish. It Gadal ve'it Kadash Shemei Rabbah. Be'alma diverah hiruteh ve'yamlich malchuteh b'chayachon u'b'yom echon ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירם בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, חיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. Please remain standing for our Kiddush, page 48. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת דורותם ברית עולם. על כן ברכתו את יום השבת ויקדשהו סברי מרנן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו על נטילת ידיים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המוציא לחם מן הארץ. Shabbat Shalom everyone, and please join us for Kiddush. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom. Bum bum.
Great to see you.
אני בא, יש לך בעיה?
Great. Should I give you a call? Are we still want to do this after that for you? Wonderful. I'm away at the beginning of the week, but I'm back at the end of the week. I'll give you a call. By the end of the week, we'll set you up.
I would just take the whole loaf.
Okay, now we'll do the blessings, right? Boom. Let's connect. So we have to make a booking for Abby, don't we?
Well,
Book a
ready?
bunch.
Good. Good job.
You don't-
Good job, Biz.
Sure, but I want you to get your date. We should get this going before you know it. I don't see her in the book. That's why. Yeah. So there's nothing booked. So we should do it. Yeah. Talk to the boss. Talk to the boss.
Talk to Adi then. I'll talk to Adi.
Oh, talk. Yeah.
I always thought that was Mark Koziba.
Kosva.
Koziba.
No S. No E.
That's what I thought. I learned Koziba with the Zayin Yud. Koziba.
Yeah. No. That's
Kosba.
yeah. At least that was what I read.
So Marvin,
Yeah.
where does that one go?
Yeah. What were you guys monkeying around with there?
When you move the piano, you unplug something. Ashia told me, she was watching. He sent me a message.
Did I unplug something?
Well,
You
we
got
don't know
caught
what.
underneath?
We don't know what.
Oh.
But it was at the time that she saw it. Matthew was moving the piano and the book.
Really? But I didn't touch anything else.
Well, it's a mess.
The only cord is this cord right here. It was caught underneath the leg.
This one here, but I'm gonna fix the
You
problem.
will have to redo the whole thing.
Interesting. I had no idea.
Probably like maybe the cables need to go.
Oh, yeah. Introduce you to the world of tuna and egg. go to Israel is awesome. It'll be your first time, right? Yeah, your grandparents have been telling you. Sounds pretty good. Yeah. Have you enjoyed it so far? It's a lot of work though, right? Learning Hebrew and then singing and all this stuff, right? It's a lot of work. I know, tell me about it. Yeah. That's one of the things I do.
Test one, 1, 2.
Margaret, if I missed,
You're lucky because
if I
if
missed
you
the
were doing it on
rabbi's
Saturday, you
morning
guys
remarks,
would have to
will I be able to replay it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Also,
good.
use trope, but the tropes are different. It's the same symbols, but they have different tunes. So lots of kids get really mad at it. As if I invented it, right? Like, I didn't invent it, I swear. Yeah, no, I know. And I was 13 once, 12, 13, whatever. You know what it's like. It's very scary. But it sounds like you're doing a great job.
Test 1.
That's what they tell me. These people have their right? As long as you can fool everybody, they won't know. I'm sure you're going to do a great job. When is it again? March, right? Nice. Nice. Good. So how much longer is your visit? Is today the last day of your visit? Are you on the, what flight are you on? I need you on your flight. I'm going to Toronto next week. Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Oh, it's not really the last day. My wife's sister had it. Yeah, so she, my wife and my son are pretty bad.
I said, it's okay.
And we have with them fence, yeah. So you know, you set it tomorrow. Oh, it's like 4 hours. So not insane. Yeah. Like if you were on the way to the Muskokas, that would be great. But then you have to keep going and going and going. Oh yeah? Do they? Yeah, that's right. That's awesome. Yeah, I've been there. It's my brother-in-law's family.
Is that Pastor Loma she's going to?
No, we're talking about me. She lives in Toronto. Mind you, what part of Toronto do
Because
you
I
live
went
in?
to,
You know? Yeah. Oh, right on. Cool. Right on. That's great. And what grade are you in? Yeah, so you're in the summer between grade 6 and 7. Lots of big changes in your life. This is exciting. And you have a sister, right?